So, the background of our study is that currently there is no standard nationwide regulating how we should conduct CPD in Indonesia. So we have like CPD done in different ways all over our archipelago. Yeah, but having these choppy, isolated programs can be considered ineffective because one of many reasons could be top-down. So it's not really sourcing from those who need it. It could be a quick fix-it approach. It could be because the teachers are reluctant, they don't have intrinsic motivation. It could be prescriptive, which is a synonym to top-down, so from the management, lowering it down to those who are in the field, which might not correspond so well. One-size-fits-all, fixed and untimely methods, so it doesn't flow continuously, there's no follow-up. Yeah, little or no follow-up. So having this in mind with the background, also deconceptualized, the purpose of our study is to investigate the challenges stemming from the critical events of teachers who are teaching right now full-time. What are the challenges of them improving themselves and the resources that they use? We analyzed the stories of teachers in a private foundation in Surabaya. So they are ranging from kindergarten until senior high school teachers. There were 5 senior teachers, 5 mid-career teachers, and 5 novice teachers. So those were our small group of subjects. The methodology is we adopted a narrative inquiry research method. We analyzed their stories, their pedagogical and professional stories, and also we conducted a semi-structured interview. From that on, we coded those inputs into patterns or codings that we categorized into different themes. For the reasons why they entered the profession, teachers undergo events that are called critical events. So those are the moments or episodes in their lives that cause them to choose the teaching profession. And most occasions than the others is that it doesn't stem from an idealistic point of view, but basically from the circumstances that they're in. For example, well, one out of many is intrinsic satisfaction, the influence of significant others, pragmatic concerns, positive teaching experience, and idealism. But the more frequent ones were intrinsic satisfaction that they experience in the job, not beforehand, the influence of others, and pragmatic concerns. So the intrinsic motivation, the teachers sometimes, even though they do not opt for teaching in the first place, when they do enter the profession, they find satisfaction. So like this, they receive meaningful, heartful messages, and the students opine that they help them to be better learners and also better people in general. And like this novice teacher said that she took a course on call and she felt satisfied because she was kind of competent in the job. So love for students and also job satisfaction, although perhaps it wasn't their first reason. Also, there's the influence of significant others. In Indonesia, we have this collectivist culture where we sometimes go with the flow or follow the bandwagon. And teachers who become long-term educators can be positively associated with the approval of their surroundings. So if their parents are teachers, they're more likely to be teachers when they grow up. That's what we found. And there are also these quite unsettling reasons, such as them trying to find a safer option, and also because of the lack of prospective opportunities out there. So what the heck, I'll just teach for a while. But then sooner or later they find out that they kind of like it. So like for this one, the teacher that we had previously, teacher 6, she needed a part-time job to support her family, but then she kind of enjoyed it as she went along. So having all these different reasons why teachers become who they are right now, we have some challenges that they face in maintaining their profession. Why do they retain? Why do they remain as teachers? The challenges could be a lot. Most of them reported having trouble dealing with students' problems because probably they didn't have the support, the educational background prior. because most of them, they didn't come from a teacher training faculty. They just come from content, knowledge degrees, like science or physics or biology, and then they became teachers, sometimes English teachers. Classroom management, time management, adaptation to professional responsibilities. So those things. From these challenges, they stay mostly because of the cooperative working atmosphere and because of this collegial support only limited to their foundation. And what they do to go beyond that or to extend it, they don't do anything. So all they do is just they rely within their small scope of foundation teachers. And that leads to very limited external resources or independence to continuous professional development. And we think they are succumbing to the groupthink tendencies, which we don't think is appropriate as teachers who are lifelong learners. They should be able to expand their scope. And this is, if we want to look at it in the point of view of Hargreaves, he said that teacher professionalism spans out within 4 stages. We have the pre-professional age, where teachers can be teachers without formal education. So all you have to do is just give them materials and the students study them at home. And then we have the autonomous professional, which is the stage that we are in. So teachers are allowed to make their own materials, they can create their own syllabi, their own lesson plans, but conforming to a standard curriculum. So we are there, but we are not here yet. Collegial professionalism. So we, like the teachers there in that school, they only rely on their small scope of foundation colleagues. They don't go extend from that because maybe given their personal critical events in the past, they're not pushed intrinsically to progress themselves. And last, post-professional is where the group of teachers, they set their own standards, which can be applied nationwide. Apparently, that's not the case either yet, so this is yet to be achieved. Therefore, our recommendation is to have a technology-enhanced CPD. What does that mean? It takes into account metacognitive approaches. So there's a cyclical process intertwining between institutional needs, so it's still local, local factors like the students within the institution, but we also refer to a wider professional network which all conform to the same curriculum. So we suggest that the core criteria of effective CPD should be context-specific still, regional, but it has direct contribution to individual settings. It acknowledges the teacher's existing knowledge, and it is not imposed. But in the foundation that I'm talking about right now, who are our subjects, they were imposed to this kind of program, this scheme. So what we did is Widya Mandala and also RELO, Regional English Language Office from the US Embassy, we worked together in creating a MOOC, a massive open online course, which students are here right now, Ms. Priska, Ms. Pipit, and also from the first batches, you and I, yeah, we were here. A MOOC is designed to form communities of inquiry. So that's how the collegial support, the wider network of professionals can be formed. And why is it communities of inquiry? Because they have these 3 presences. You have the cognitive, you have the social, and you have the teaching. Just like the TPAC model, you need to have technology kind of in there because it eliminates distance and time constraints. And then you have content, and there's also some pedagogical substance to it. Like this, social, cognitive, and teaching provides or contributes to a really good educational experience. The cognitive presence, we follow the Dewey principle. So there should be a trigger, there should be a moment of confusion, they explore, and they integrate it into their context, and then they come up with a resolution that can transfer in different situations. Teaching presence, there should be a teacher, but the teacher's role is just to facilitate. That's why it's self-regulated. It's not imposed, and the students do it in their own time. That's why it's an online course. It's massive. The teacher cannot do a top-down kind of approach, but more of like directing them to the resources that they can make use of. And there is a social presence, which is very integral to forming the community, because the people who are interacting in a MOOC, they are doing it purposefully, maybe for a task or to discuss a concept, and they have a goal, they have a common goal. We're all teachers here, we all want to achieve that goal. How can we go about it? So this is a really good platform, and it is technology enhanced. So you have the constraints of time, distance, and time and distance. Basically, they can be mitigated. So this is the iMOOC homepage. I think some of us are familiar with that. Priska, Gusti, and myself. This is a collaboration between Relo and 15 universities nationwide. One of them is my university, Widya Mandala. The course developers, they are from teacher training faculty, teacher training facilities. Here it is, Widya Mandala is there. Hello, okay. And, oh, thank you. And yeah, so in one post, for example, in this forum, we were just getting to know each other. One post could receive about 300 replies. And that kind of lowers the feeling of isolation and the feeling of groupthink tendencies, because you're able to interact with people whose circumstances are not exactly the same as yours, but like-minded, I guess. This is one of the tasks that we had to do, is we had to post a video of ourselves, and some students did that. Miss Ellen from Surabaya, Miss Mariska, I forgot, Miss, where are you from? Where are you from? Jogja, yeah, and Miss Jo, I think is from Bandung, yeah. Okay, so having this with teachers from 30 institutions from different places, we can definitely get something from each and every one of us. Everyone can contribute something that is not completely different, but we could adopt one or two things. So a technology-enhanced CPD is kind of probably what we need here, in addition to what teachers already receive from their foundation. Because you need to have something from the foundation as you are directing towards the same vision and mission. But as a professional community, you also need to be in contact with those outside of, that's my opinion, that's our opinion, outside of the foundation. And these teachers are subjects, they haven't been accustomed to that yet. So a metacognitive teacher inquiry, in our opinion, should supplement school-based managed programs. It should facilitate the forming of professional communities, and it should be purposeful, bearing immediate value. Yeah, that's it. This MOOC was offered to this foundation. It was not imposed, and we have about two or three participants who opted to join. And yeah, I guess having it being an option would mean that the teachers can already assess their existing knowledge. Where am I in this barometer? Am I able to keep up or not? Is this something that I need or not? Am I going to be able to apply it or not? So they can assess it themselves, and if they choose consciously, then hopefully by then it would be contextualized and integrated in their individual context. Okay, I guess that's it from me. These are the references that I referred to. Yeah, since there's no more Q&A, there's no Q&A, I will end the talk here. Thank you very much for your attention.